Test.
Testing. Blessings.
I put the volume down. Keep going.
Me and my broski in the section. Yes, sir. All the way from Young Street to Weston and back to the back ends with your best friend. Yes, sir, ski.
That was a. Did you freestyle
That's
that?
on top of my head, yeah, bro.
That was kind of hard. Bro, I had a moment where I was reflecting by myself. It's like, I have not done an episode in, I have not done an episode in 2026 where something hasn't gone wrong. A part of me was like a little like frustrated, but a part of me is like, yo, it's really beautiful because every time something has gone wrong, the pivot is beautiful. It's always led to something like really nice or better or whatever the case may be. But I definitely acknowledge that some of the things that I've dealt with are so bad that I know it makes other people quit. Like I know that deep down inside. Today, for example, for the audience, like we recorded for an hour and 45 minutes, all washed, all content that we cannot use. And luckily for me, my guest is like super cool. And God bless the timing and the situation. It allowed for us to reshoot it, and we both saw the blessing in it. Anytime something goes wrong in life, there's always like blessings that come out of it. Like I always like, I got kicked out of like a quarterfinal game in my league, and like I remember I'm close with the commissioner. Shout out Ted. I just messaged him and I was like, yo, it was a blessing. And he was like, I know he was kind of like confused by it, but it was like, I don't like work harder when I win basketball games. Like I only work harder when I lose. Like losing is a blessing. Like it kind of like tells you you're not, you need to like, it makes you look at the man in the mirror harder, and like, whatever you need to refine or adjust, like it makes you confront those uncomfortable things. And like, that's the beauty of this. Like I'm kind of happy it happened now, because like now we have a story, and I like sharing my struggles with my audience. I like, it's not easy running a one-man show. It's quite difficult, and there's always the third door that I'm always like seeking. There's never just like two options. That's part of what this is. And I remember even just like season 1 and season 2, like I remember like things didn't start getting good or consistent till like 10 episodes in. Both seasons, like around that mark is like when the problems started getting minimalized, and like that's what it takes. It's not just 1, 2, 3 recordings. Like you just have to keep pivoting and keep adjusting. And like, without further ado, welcome to fucking Bigger Dreams podcast. I'm unbelievably excited for this episode. It's your boy Matt, aka Easy Money, aka Babyface Killer, aka Mr. Boy or Girl. Give her back in tonight. We're giving her back the same day delivery. We're quicker than Amazon Prime. It's Bigger Dreams, baby. How you feel?
Bro, I feel amazing being with you, bro. And what you said, poetic, brother. Beautifully said, bro. God makes no mistakes.
Yes, sir. Love. My guest today is 6 a.m. himself. He is an up-and-coming artist out of Toronto, ready to make crazy waves in 2026. New waves, new sounds, new melodies, new everything. That's 2026. That's the energy we're on. New everything. We're turning up the art. We're turning up the fucking art this year. That's what it is. Yes, in a time where things are uncertain and anxiety's at an all-time high, we're out here making sure that, we stay lost in the art. We keep the art as a priority. So, I want him to introduce himself. I already gave him an intro, but 6 a.m., talk to us.
Hey, bro, thank you. That's it. I'm 6 a.m., an artist from Toronto, and I'm blessed to be here. Thank you, bro. My dog.
Man, I'm so excited for this. Like, really, like, someone I've been wanting on this podcast for, like, a couple years. I was patient with it. He was always on my bucket list. I hit him up, and he was. I'm big on timing. This was divine timing. It was a good time for him. It was a good time for me. I already know from the first time I met him, he's changed so much. So if you guys knew him from before this episode, you're probably gonna see a different side of him, a grown side of him, something that's like I'm very happy to see. You know, the first thing I want to talk to you about, we're gonna get right into it. Luckily, I got to hear the amazing music that is on the horizon. He's gonna drop some new music soon. That's the intention. But I wanted you to share it with the audience. You know, your sound is about to change. People who have heard you before, you're about to tap into a whole new community of listeners that are about to listen to you. So, what do you want your old listeners to know, and what do you want the new listeners to know about the music that's coming up?
Firstly, bro, all those kind words. God bless you. Thank you, bro. Thank you, bro. Thank you for real, for real. God bless you. And I'm privileged to be here in your presence as well.
Love,
Yeah, I
love,
really mean
love.
that. It's a
My
privilege.
guy,
It's a
my
blessing.
guy.
It's a privilege.
We have a high respect for each other.
Always, bro.
And
Always.
shout out Rocco. Rocco's in the back. You know.
Yes, sir. The goat, my goat, Rocco. Hey, if
He's
he's
a
not
guy
number
for
one,
sure.
if
He's
he's
a
not
guy
your
for
number
sure.
one, he's number two, and he ain't two, baby. But for my old listeners, I'm still 6 a.m., but I've grown, and to my new listeners, welcome aboard.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Uh, bro, that's it. Honestly, bro. You heard the art, bro. You know what I mean? You heard
So,
the
how about
art.
this? Okay, I'll rephrase it. Like in spoken word, what can you tell people about like how what your sound was to what your sound is becoming now?
You know, my old sound was the sound of a man that was trying to fit into an image or something that he envisioned his success becoming. And the newest version of me is also being portrayed in my art, which is that I'm no longer here to create art to fit in. I want to stand out, and the only way for person to stand out is by being authentically themselves, because that's the only energy in which we can harness our frequency. That's to our own individuality.
Okay. So, well, like, okay, I'm gonna be honest with the audience. Like, you know, I heard the music, the new music, and the first thing I thought of is like, oh, 6 a.m. was like hopping on beats that just weren't like fitting his sonic waves. Like now he has something. This is the first time I'm actually hearing music from him, and I'm like, oh wow, like Brody found his sound. Brody, like talk to me. You talked to me about wearing masks and how you were struggling. Tell me about wearing masks and like how that impacted your art in a negative way. And again, I want to speak like, yo, it's a journey. Finding your sound is not easy. Some people find their sounds way later in life. You know what I mean? And even to the point where it's too late. It's not too late for you. So tell me about that struggle of like wearing a mask and like coming, like the process of taking it off.
It's honestly, it was a journey, and the way that I started to learn how to navigate through my art was beginning to understand myself as an individual. People who decide to disassociate within art at times are trying to escape something, and I decided to see what was in front of me and actually try to overcome those obstacles. And once I did that, I was able to look at myself as a person and not feel shame or disgust. We try to disassociate so much, and what I did with my art previously is that I allowed for it to be on the subject matter and energy of a place of someone that is disassociated, and I call it a mask because I felt like who 6am was in the music I was making was not reflective of who I am as a person in general, and especially the man that I am now. And so
What were the pressures that you were dealing with at the time that were like preventing you from taking off the mask? Like, was it like societal pressures? Was it like trying to impress certain people, or like what was it?
it was a combination of the perception that people had of me, but also the feeling of wanting to be somewhere or be something and being desperate to get to that. It's like to attract opportunity is much different than to chase opportunity. And so with that mindset and that feeling, I tried to attract things. And by attracting things, you have to be a magnet and a force. And you have to harness what is yours to have things gravitate towards you. And so I've really been focused on that, to be transparent with you, and understanding myself as a person and authentically putting how I feel in everything I do. My conversations with you, with Rocco, when I'm making art, if I'm playing basketball, if I'm having a conversation, the women I approach, it doesn't matter. My verbiage, it all.
You know what? Let's get into that. How has your how has your relationship with women impacted your old sound and your new sounds? Like there has to be a difference. Okay, like to
That's a
me,
great
from a
question.
distance, it seems like you were around toxic women before, and now the women who you're talking to now, it seems like this seems it seems to be bringing out an authentic side from you from a distance.
You know, I think that accountability is very important in things, and I will say that I was not a good man in a lot of ways either, and I had a misconception of how to be a good man because
You know, I rate the accountability. A lot of people will just like instincts will be to shit on the women they were speaking to in their old sound.
I take the onus, but I can't control their actions. But I will say that a relationship is about like nurturing and nourishment and like empowering like energy, and I was providing and also a part of an environment that was not allowing me to tap into my authentic energy. You know, like in relationships, people like to use like masculine and feminine. The man has to empower feminine energy, and the woman has to empower the masculine energy. And when the other side comes out, it means that something is missing. And so, I'll be fully transparent with you. I reflected upon the things that I grew up in life and I saw that I thought were normal in a relationship, and I adjusted. And I'm sure growing up in an immigrant family, you know what I mean? We see certain things and how certain ways are and they aren't. And it takes a lot to
You
learn
think
as
it's the norm growing up?
exactly, and it's not. And to learn how to be a man, and I think the thing for me and to every single woman I've been with, I learned how to become a man piece by piece because of all those experiences and reflecting on where I needed to be a better man.
I respect that. I respect. I mean, it shows. If fucking they're gonna see. They
Thank you,
gonna
bro.
see.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, man. No, it's cool. You know, we couldn't do this on the last episode. I will give you guys my spoken word about what I feel when I heard the music. 6 a.m. finally found himself. You know, he finally he like the genius behind the music that he's about to release is like he found a way to make music that could really I really see it in line with mainstream music. Really can hit like I could definitely it's very radio friendly. It's really stuff that you could play in a lot of different types of settings. And more in all, like the genius of it is like his ethics and morals have changed, and it doesn't compromise his morals and ethics. It's quite genius, and I want to speak to you about that morals and ethics. There's something that has changed about you recently in terms of morals and ethics. I just want you to like kind of touch upon that because this is if anyone's known 6 a.m. before this episode, I'm sure you're kind of impressed by like some of the like how he's speaking is just is a little different. You can see he's grown and been through some shit. So tell us about your morals and ethics. It seems like you're standing on them more than you've ever stood on them before.
I appreciate that, bro. It's there's a quote where it's like you stand for something or you fall for everything, and I started to just establish the places in my life that required boundaries. I feel like a lot of the time we live in a way where we're trying to accommodate, and by accommodating you're compromising, and to compromise is a part of love, and that's fine, and to compromise for the people you love, all for it, because you're not always going to get what you want, but to love somebody is selfless, and so to see them, you know, get that thing that makes them happier than it would have made you is what love is, and you should appreciate that. And I learned that your heart love is infinite, but there's only so much room in it, you only have so much time. And so I've learned to make space in my heart and not to please people in order to feel acceptance. I learned to not think about what the room is going to think when I write this bar down. I learned to think about the loneliest moment in my life, and if somebody ever felt that way, how can I make sure they know that they are actually not alone. And my morals and ethics really changed and shifted when I saw the state of my life and I realized that my actions do not correspond with the paradigm and light within my soul.
Uh, Something as adults that we struggle with is making mistakes and then pivoting. I think everyone is trying to like. You see, our society has forced us to make good decisions so that we can survive. That's kind of like where the state of our city is at right now, and the cool thing about making mistakes is like, oh, like shit. I did that gimmicky shit where I like wrote a bar with a certain audience in mind or a certain girl in mind or whatever the case may be. I wasn't really tapped into how I feel. I was trying to cater to a certain people, a certain group, a certain community of listeners, whatever the case may be. But it was like, I lost myself in the process. And just catching yourself and being able to pivot, like like these are the beautiful things about art is making mistakes and pivoting, and that's the beauty in it. Is like wow, like I'm looking at someone who's I haven't followed your whole journey, but from the time I've known you to like what you've showed me right now, I'm just like, damn, bro. Like look how much pain and struggle and sacrifice one had to go through, and the team around him had to go through just to get to this point of discovery. He hasn't even like perfected the sound or excelled in it or nothing. Just even the beginning stages of finding the sound. Like wow, that's so beautiful. Sometimes you spend a lifetime trying to like find your artistry just to find out you're in the baby stages.
Yeah.
And you're in, funny how that works, right? Like it's a beautiful thing, right? It's a beautiful thing about art, about humanity, and I think very similar to basketball. A lot of people think this is a young man's sport, and in a lot of ways it is. But like you see it, like the perfect examples is always like the Futures, the Jay-Z's. Like those guys didn't really do anything on a mainstream level until they were 35. So I think it gives hope. I think more people are, shout out Drake. I think he's even normalizing growing in music, doing it at older ages. You know what I mean? You still see Kanye dropping. You still see people trying to do it at the high level. It's never too late. It's just about the journey.
Yeah.
Like that, maybe other people don't see the journey, but you went through the journey, so you appreciate the downfalls, the highs, the lows, the everything in between. Talk about being even keeled.
Bro, first of all, very well said. Like all that, very well said. I gotta give you that for sure, bro. And you know what, fam? It's sad.
Take two, baby.
Take two, baby. Take two, baby. And you know what?
We're flowing different.
Yes, sir. And yo, can I say one thing though? I feel like hip hop music, because I know you're saying about even keel, and I will say something about that. But bro, is it just me, or is hip hop music the only genre of music where there's an age limit? Like Johnny Cash made music till he was like 80 something. Ray Charles was playing the piano when he was losing his mind. Like hip hop, it's like, yo, you're 23. It's like, you're too old.
So I think it comes from hip hop was always like inspired by like dance, like rhythms, flows, and these things are like require high energy. And I think that's why it's been a young man's sport. There's people who are like playing the longevity game and reorganizing the blueprint, which is great. But again, similar as basketball, now you're seeing like now because of what LeBron did, now you're seeing the KD, the Steph Curry, the James Harden, the like a lot of these people, they wouldn't have fought for their careers if they didn't have an example of someone who was doing longevity. So I just think like people just have to do it, and then so slowly the criteria and the standards start changing.
I respect that.
Yeah,
I respect that.
And even like if you notice, like let's even bring it back to Tupac and Biggie. Yeah. Dying at a young age, or even people's primes. Like a lot of people didn't really like Jay-Z and Nas's older music everyone was just always just praising their rookie sophomore albums.
Mhm.
Not until later, until Jay-Z made the 444, until certain things happened, maybe King's disease for Nas, whatever the case may be. But it's like they had to go through challenges of like not meeting the standards of the first early projects, and like I'm sure that feels like shit. I'm sure it's like, why don't they like me now? Why am I always being compared to like when I was 21 or my rookie sophomore album, whatever? And I'm sure this is the same for J. Cole, same for Drake. I'm sure everyone compares to Born Sinner, Take Care, those time period. You will always get compared to these time, and I'm sure it's frustrating as fuck to deal with.
Bro, I initially started showing the songs that I showed you to a bunch of my friends, and they're like my biggest supporters, my day ones, guys that like I'll cry on their shoulder, they'll cry on mine. I trust them with all my heart, and like they had a lot of skepticism to the sound that I showed you. And so to your question also about being even keel, I had to learn to trust myself because I always cared about like what these people thought. I always thought about like I'm gonna write this bar and that this person's gonna react this way. And so
How did they react?
when I showed them the first time, I trust you was their answer.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm glad, because I don't I think it's also a thing for you to get over. Like, I don't think you need their approval either. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As much as like you value them, and like you like again, like you said, that relationship of being there for you at your lowest points and stuff. But I think it's important for you to love the sound, and like stand on it regardless of how they feel. But again, you'd hope that they support it. I think that is, and I was gonna. That kind of speaks to my next topic that I didn't get to address on the. This is why we love second takes. In a way, one's perception can be that you're riding a trend.
Mm.
What's popular right now is dance music, is electronic music. We saw Honestly Nevermind. We saw Tory Lane's new project, or latest project. Do you know the name of it? I don't want to butcher it. It's okay.
It was called Sexy Bass, I think.
I think so too. But we're seeing this new wave that you are gonna play a big part in. How do you feel about, like, what if someone, again, this is not true, but what if someone says, oh, like, is this guy riding trends?
I would let whoever thought this or thinks this to think what they will, and they don't know me and what I've been through, the things that I think about. And art, once again, is a reflection of feeling. House music is a genre of art that it's like the 120 BPM, like the way the beat goes at, and the kick, doom doom doom, the body moves at that. Like, house music is a connection between art and soul and being. And to be fully transparent with you, I've always loved that kind of music, and I kept the mask on my face because I was scared to get judged. And I
So like this mask that you had on, I want to, like, let's go in depth about that. What's the time are we at?
26.
Okay, I'm gonna do this quick. Talk about this mask. So what, like, you're hopping on R&B beats, you're hopping on hip hop beats. They're very dark beats. To me, they're very inspired by Toronto music. The beats that you were hopping on remind me of Party Next Door, of The Weeknd. Like, how would you describe the mask that you had on?
We had an ongoing joke, Rocco, remember? I used to only make sad music. It was literally like, oh, here's another 6 a.m. sad song. I made a song called A Sad Song because of that joke. It's like, I love Party Next Door. I love The Weeknd. I bump P1 and P2 all the time to this day. And it's like, you're not going to have a flute play the same role in a song composition as a drum or a guitar. And I realized that I kept trying to be a different instrument than I actually am. Drake has that one bar, I think it's on 4 p.m. in Calabasas, where he's like, asked my dad how to make it in life. He said that Pac never tried to be like Mike. Like, you know what I mean? It's like that. Like, it's like that type of mentality where I had to. I see myself for what I am, and I understand it. And maybe later on in the future it's ballad music, it's country music. I make art as an artist, and right now, house music not only saved me, but it's speaking to me, and that's where I want my voice to be heard. So
I'm gonna tell you right now, you are exactly where you need to be, bro. This is your sound. This is you. This is you. This is bringing out the best versions of you, the most authentic versions of you. I always like the music and the production have to be synonymous. And for the first time, I feel like I'm really like seeing it in your music. I'm seeing the marriage like starting to form. So, shout out to you, man. Like, a lot of people don't get to this point of like finding their sound. So that's something you could celebrate, like with your team by yourself. Like that's something you should be proud of. Same way I was proud of like winning MIP in my league. Like it's just like this is something you could be proud of. Regardless of outcomes. Like this is something that like a super like accomplishment beyond something that you could measure in monetary gain or some sort of human made form of observing things. But we'll be right back. And like, yo, shout out Uptown Lounge. Like what we understand is you are going on a little run in 2026.
yes, sir.
One single a month.
One single a month, brother. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Tell me about that. Tell me about the formatting of the releases.
So we are starting with our first drop, Like the Moon, and this is just a little bit of a bridge track. It's that first one I showed you. Like, I don't want people to just feel like I threw them in cold water, so I'm gonna let my fans, the people that were here from before, know that we're making that move and transition. And the month after,
He's fucking thoughtful. He's allowing you guys to transition as listeners with him. He's not even dropping the bombs on you guys.
and then we start dropping the ones that you really liked right after that, broski. Once a month, every single month, we got a song coming out 2026, and I'm honestly really proud of the art that I've made, man. I'm genuinely just like, it's like what you said, to reflect back on who I was as a person, who I am now. Like, that's the most important thing. It's not like this is the dopest shit ever, you gotta listen to this or that and the other. I'm just genuinely proud of what we've created. Me, Rocco, Curls. Like, we've spent countless hours, and the days that I lost faith in myself, bro, like, they had faith in me. And there were days I wanted to give up, and like, I just remember telling myself, like, yo, these guys put hours into you. Like, they put hours.
Don't disrespect the sacrifices they
Don't
made.
disrespect my brothers, bro. My brothers' time, they believe in me, that faith in me. They put hours. My boys that put in time, effort, money, come to studio sessions, events, talk to me on the phone, brainstorming. It's like, I'm like, yo, I'm not going to let these people think for a second that I don't respect and value their time and their belief in me. I am going to pull through because there's a voice inside me that's telling me, yo, you have something to say. And during those times when I had the mask on, I still felt that, but I didn't know what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
And now I'm just proud of how it's not the best music in the world. It doesn't have to be. It's me. It's just me on a song, and that's what I'm proud of.
Yeah, there's just no mask on. You're showing your face for the first time.
It's my soul. It's my soul, bro. It's whatever God put into me, that shines when you and I talk. The same thing I see in you, that light, and I'm trying to harness that. You come on a podcast and people hear your energy. They see your voice. They see your face. They hear your voice. They see the things that, the way your body moves, and they can feel you, bro. And the light that one harnesses, once it's tapped into, is what causes other people to shine.
That's interesting. I mean, like, I thank you, by the way. I appreciate that. I think I always like, I'm inspired by Charlemagne the God, Wallow and Gilly,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just like, yo, like, I'm not African American the way they are, but like, I got something to me. Like, how can I show like my waviness and like be creative and do hip hop journalism and do music journalism in general and just do it in just a different way than how it's being done. And kind of like you, the same thing. It's just like, you were struggling to find your sound, and now you found it. Now you're here, and like, man, like, how does it feel to take the mask off?
Liberating.
Yeah. Who are some of the artists that inspire you?
Top, like, what am I give you, like a top five? Like, cause bro, I'll be honest, I'm a
We're
fan
gonna
of,
go top three.
yeah, top three. Okay, I'm a fan of music. You know, I love all music. Um, Number one, unanimously, no debate, hands down, Rocco Santana. Roham is number one.
Shout out Rocco. He's with us in the building right now.
He is the GOAT, and he is number one on my list. He is a genius musically, and he is a genius with the in like the understanding the intricacies of his soul, and I would not have learned how to take my mask off without him. So number one, him. And if there's any artist I want to collab with every time, him. If I can make a whole 10 albums, every song with them, him. I'll do it. Him. But other than that, I love you, bro. Other than that, um, Drake, like, that guy is just the best songwriter of our generation.
The GOAT.
Best songwriter of our generation. And then I know this might rub some people the wrong way, but Kanye West, I think, is undoubtedly one of, if not the most, like, influential. Like, he's one of the most influential hands in all of modern music. And I think that modern art, yes, modern art, all of it. I agree. He is somebody that I think that hundreds of years from now, they're gonna talk about him in our generation.
You know, something I mentioned before, and I'll mention it again. Like, again, it's just someone, like, you know, we spoke about relationships in our first take, and, like, you know, I think as a man, a lot of your desires, wants, a lot of your desires and wants kind of get washed away because you're so focused on sacrificing for your significant other and eventually the family that you're building. If it has kids, you're sacrificing for your kids. But it's like, what I love about Kanye West is, like, I feel like he doesn't run away from his inside thoughts. Like, he really, like, confronts them. And there's certain things in our society that are backwards in that, like, you're not allowed questioning them, but he'll question them. These are things, like, I love about Kanye, and I'll respect about Kanye, because, like, I find that about myself. I found, like, there's social norms that I see, and societal norms, and, like, I grow up and I'm like, you know, how I feel and the questions I'm asking, they don't, like, to myself, like, my inner voice, these social constructs are are being challenged by my inner voice. My inner voice doesn't even coincide with a lot of the things that exists. And I just, like, I have a admiration for Kanye in that sense, where he's able to, like, challenge norms and, like, kind of go against the grain. And who are, name me 2 3 artists in the city that are not, like, on a big scale that you'd like to collaborate with.
So three artists that I think I'd like three artists I'd want to collaborate in the city with. I know you're gonna hate this answer. First one, Roham, Rocco Santana, always.
Haven't you already collaborated with him?
But I want to do 10 more songs. It feels
Okay.
every time it's a new.
That's real love,
it's a
bro.
new experience. I'm
I
his
rate
biggest
that,
fan,
bear.
bro. I'm his biggest fan. I go in the studio and I look at him sometimes and I'm like, how is this even a thing? Like, how are you so good? How are you so talented? And yeah, he's number one. And number two, um, I hope I don't mispronounce his name. Is Quasi, and he's a rapper. I do believe in the OVO camp, and he is an outstanding artist. Like, I don't care about clout and followers and plays. Like, I don't even pay attention.
His sound resonates with you.
Me and him would make a good song together, a great song just for music, and he's an incredibly talented artist. I think it's spelled Kwazii. I think it's, check him out if you haven't heard him. He's actually really talented, really talented. But one and two, one and two.
Okay. I fuck with that. I fuck. What's your purpose as an artist?
I feel like at first, I used to feel like my purpose as an artist and as like a person on this planet were two different things. And now I feel like my purpose as an artist is to accompany what my purpose as a man is on this planet. And that's to give people the confidence and the want and willingness to be their authentic selves and to let that light that's within them shine. Because, like what you said, bro, society, the way things are constructed, it's meant to dim you. Because if everyone was shining, we'd probably be able to see through the smoke and mirrors. And so my goal is to let somebody feel confident in who they are. Because Tupac has that one quote. He's like, I may not be the person that like changes the world, but I might be the person that sparks the one that does. And it may not be me who changes it, but I hope that I do say something that plants a seed in somebody that makes a difference. And if you help one person, that one person can end up helping the whole world. And if you believe that, you'll treat everybody with infinite power.
That's deep. Yeah, we were just talking about it earlier. Like, shout out J. Cole. Like, in his latest album, like, he's given us so much gems growing up. I think "Love Yours" is probably the most infamous gem that he's given across the board. But something he spoke about, it was a song where he was speaking to a fan, and he just like he poured his heart near the end of the song, and at the end of the song, he's like, "Man, life is just about the difference you make," and he repeated it a couple times, and I'm just like, "Fuck." That really is life. Like, life is about the difference you make, whether it's the immediate family around you, whether it's the people who you're with spiritually, because those people are hella important. Sometimes, I've discovered that sometimes it's more important than family, the people who you connect with spiritually, right? Like your blood family, and it's like you're responsible for like a greater good, and it's really the difference you make. That's what life is. Like, people put like a lot of sacrifice, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. People go through hell and back for their loved ones, and bigger than just loved ones, or like beyond that, it's like, what difference do you make? Like, that's so deep, like on a music level, on a people level, on a conscious level, and like, um, that's why we do art. To be truthful with you, it kind of pains me to show myself to the world. You know, I don't. I I just kind of lived my life for so long, just giving it to my energy to the people I wanted to, like sharing it with others or people I don't know or whoever discovers me or whatever. Like, that kind of hurt me a bit. You know what I mean? Because I don't know how it's being perceived.
Mm.
I don't know how you know what I mean. I know how it is like with certain people, and like I still struggle with that pain of like sharing myself with others. Like, it hurts me to be public. It hurts me to like be a be a public figure. Have my like It's weird to have my personality available for anyone to see. Like, a girl could be talking to me, she could find out everything about how I chat
Yep.
just through if she just watched a little bit of the pod. That always tripped me out, and like but my want for a purpose to make timeless content, to have conversations where people can learn from, to like to do all these things, to be break barriers, to be a pioneer within my community. Like, these things are more important than how I feel. These like little insecurities. Like, do you feel the same way?
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. And it's because when you are chosen, there's it's the balance of the universe. It's There's a positive and a negative force. Something's pulling you this way, and it's like that voice that's like, put yourself out there. You're gonna make a change. The light within you needs to be shown and shining across so somebody can see themselves in you, like see themselves in you, and vice versa. Will be counteracted by something as powerful that goes into your head that tells you you want to be a private person and this. And I will tell you something, bro. It's brave to post your face publicly.
Love,
Of
bro.
course, bro. Speak like that and make. You're an artist, and we spoke about this before. You're an artist doing this. This is a craft. You're spending time, and you're an artist. And I respect you for putting your heart out into this and talking about it.
Do you have certain like uh pain that comes with like expressing yourself like that publicly or sharing yourself in that way?
Yeah, there's fear, and a lot of the time, and this was one thing that really changed my approach to my art. Actually, was that I had dropped a music video and I recorded the video on a Tesla camera. It was very unique. Like
Oh,
I,
I remember that. That was actually really cool.
thank you,
I
bro.
fucked with that.
Thank you, bro. It was really hard. I had like it was an idea where I really felt I had an idea for years, and then I was like, this is the song, this is the vibe, and like the hook. I recorded a music video on a Tesla cam is a good hook. So when I posted it, there was natural traction, and there were people just commenting like, "This sucks. This is shit." I edited the music video myself. Like, it was not spectacular, and so um, I took a step back and I went, "Why does this bother me so much?" And it bothered me so much because I felt and believed that. And the reason I felt and believed that was not because the music was bad, because I show those songs and people do love it. It was because deep down I was like, this is not me. I would rather get shit on for being myself than get shit on by to pretend by like be shit on for pretending to be somebody else.
But what about it wasn't you?
Back to that mask. It was just at a time like I think this was like the one of the last songs I put out before I really like took a step back and decided to make these changes in my life. And yeah,
Okay, talk about being in that dark hole. Because you took a step back. It seemed like you were in like a dark space.
yeah. You spend a decade doing something like uh I'm articulate. I'm capable of doing a lot of things with myself. I have confidence in my abilities as a man, and I've had aspirations in other avenues rather than music. And I put those things on the back burner in order to take music more seriously. And so, after you spend your whole life being an artist and 6 a.m. and this, that, and the other, you look in the mirror and you go, "Who the fuck am I? If I'm not doing this, who am I?"
Damn.
And that was a pivotal moment for me in figuring out who I am as a person. And to tell you the truth, bro, like I don't want to talk about politics too much, but I have like my dad, he lives in Iran, and a big thing that impacted me was that I was always the type of lad to go and check on my friends. I'd give you, yo, what are you saying, bro? Miss you, miss your voice. How are you? God bless you. How are you? And not even get a, I'm good, bro. How are you? It's just good, blah, blah, talk about their life for 20, 30 minutes. No problem. Blessed, glad to hear that, bro. Anyways, bye. Hang up. Bye. And the people who knew that my dad was there, and I hadn't heard from my dad in weeks at times. I was scared. I was worried. My dad,
He's
regardless,
doing okay?
he's oh God bless. Thank you for asking, bro. Yeah, like regardless of my relationship with my pops or anything like that, at the end of the day, I respect that man with no like with all of my soul. It does not matter what has happened in my life with
It's
him.
your pops.
My pops, my this like it doesn't matter. And so I really looked at that and I went, all right, yo, I saw people in my life that I was close with that even while my dad was there, I was there for them during times where they were dealing with dating for 3 months with someone and they're bitching to me about it. And I'm like, you don't even have the care to ask me if I'm okay. So he'd be like, have you heard from your pops? Have you heard from anybody? No, nothing.
And even bigger than family, just that situation in general, like it hurts. Like even if your pops is here, theoretically, that situation still hurts.
And it does hurt because even though I wasn't born there, like my brother right here, he born and raised there, and
You still have ties to it, even if you weren't born there. You're still from there.
I love the culture, bro. I love the culture. I love the people. I love Iranian people. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we are such a resilient, brave kind of people. And I might not be the most educated on the actual culture of it because I wasn't born and raised in a family that enforced that. But
But it's still a part of you.
anything I
And you
see,
still hurt when you see your people going through it.
you feel connected to it, bro. It's like that kid who just got hurt looks exactly like me. But needless to say, like, nevertheless, I digress on that. But more so, bro, it was just to understand the boundaries in which I had to set for myself with other individuals and where other people sat with me at my table now. And my list is much shorter. And people who are watching this at a later time in life that are a part of my life have felt and will feel that difference. And this is the first time I'm affirming that difference. But boundary setting was one of the biggest keys in my paradigm shifting because I love Persian culture, but Persian people like to overstep boundaries. Middle Eastern people in general love them, but we do that. And so I kept a lot of people like that around me, narcissistic people who took advantage of me. And yeah, bro, just complete reflection and understanding why are these people targeting these parts of my soul and figuring out why I keep acting in a certain way that attracts that energy because my actions attracted those things to me. I'm responsible for those things. I'm responsible for how my blessings come to me because I'm attracting those blessings with my actions and my paradigm. So, yeah.
It's a tricky thing. I also notice like not everyone is from a third world country.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not everyone has that experience of like, you meet some people who like all they know is like America and Canada. And when you just come from that perspective, or even just even if you're a European descent, some of the challenges we go through as third world countries, like I see that disconnect. I see people speak loosely, and it's like you don't know you don't know how difficult it is. You don't know how like trapped those people are, and how like our hearts are still with them, regardless if we're on the side of the grass that's greener. You know, it's a tricky thing. It's hard to like have expectations, and you just try to forgive them for what they don't know. But yeah, it's I could see why that's very challenging. Yeah, pray for Iran. Hopefully that situation gets resolved. We're praying for those people, and hopefully the government actually serves the people, and not the other way around. Ideally.
Preach. I mean that. I really mean that.
That's deep. No, it's like like I was very content with it, man. Like really, like you showed me very like it wasn't even that good speakers or nothing, but it was just like I saw the vision. I was literally like, wow, this is like very marketable. This is very easy to listen to. It's just about like the execution of like how you release it and being strategic on that note. But like in terms of the actual music, like I wouldn't even call myself a fan of your previous music. I fucked with you as a person, and I was trying to understand your sound, but I didn't understand it. You know what I mean? I was trying. I saw what you were trying to do, but maybe for you it was the mask, right? For me, it was just like I don't know.
Yeah.
But then I heard this, and I was like, oh, not only do I fuck with this, but like I know the back end of this, and I'm watching someone who's like who's figured it out, who's found a way to like make amazing music but not compromise his morals and ethics. And that to me is genius, because it's hard to make music that's could be liked by the masses but like not also contradict who you are as a person. So it's like these are like amazing wins. And it's emotional, you know, like it's not like when you release things it's like a piece of you, you know. Not every Some people are not emotional with it, that's cool, but like I'm emotional with it.
Yeah.
And I feel like you're very like in tune with your like it's a part of you when you release it, right?
Said, bro, that, like I got emotional for a sec just like hearing you talk about it, because I was like, you just think about those nights where you're like, what the fuck am I doing? You know, people that I'm putting money in and time and effort into this. I could pick up a second or third job. I go make more money, take care of the fam, take care of my people, and it's like I have a vision.
It's good because like, you know, I think the reason it resonated with you is because like yo, like I know a little bit about you. I know a little bit of, and like the people are gonna know you. They're gonna get a chance to know you through this podcast episode, and you know, then they're gonna be able to like interpret your music with this context, which a lot of people wouldn't have if we didn't do this interview. They're gonna have the same context, that they're gonna catch up to me, and they're gonna catch up to where I was when I was listening to the music, and they're gonna catch up and see like, oh, like okay, cool. This is where he was leading up to this new sound. So I'm so excited for the world to hear it. Thank you for like privileging our audience and our platform with, you know, I wasn't thinking anything of it, not positive or negative. I wasn't thinking anything of it, and then I heard the music and I was like, oh wow, like now I'm excited to be a part of it now because I heard it, and like I'm just happy that, and I challenge our listeners, like walk this walk with 6 a.m. Like, you know, you got to take 10 to 15 years, and you got to have it in an hour and a half, an hour 40 minutes, and like now you're with him for the rest of the way, right? Now you could see him in his infancy, you know, in his music infancy, and grow to the, you know, the professional he's gonna be. So it's like, yeah, thank you for choosing bigger dreams. Thank you for coming on. You could have done this. You didn't even have to do any podcast. You could have just dropped your music. I'm glad you.
What's up, man? How you doing, brother? Oh man,
You good?
I've been enjoying this from behind the scenes, bro.
How you feeling?
Bro, just thoroughly enjoying this moment.
How many minutes are we at? Okay. What do you have to say about the new sound that's coming up?
His new song?
Yeah.
Bro, witnessing this growth has been like an honor for me. You know what I mean? Witnessing his growth, and it's like we've grown together. You know what I mean? We've grown as artists, as people, bro. Like I came to Canada at like 15. We lived together. Like we've seen each other grow through so many different stages, and it's like you know how like you see a story and it has its climax and then it comes to like a conclusion. That's how it feels like when I like listen to his new music, when I listen to who he is as a person today, how he carries himself. It's just that it's like like
So
it's
what's the difference for you between the old sound and the new sound? Like to you?
to me. Um, well, I have like from an outsider perspective, I have a different perspective of than a mask. I feel like it's a growth of self perception. You know what I mean? It's a growth in how you see yourself.
So you
It's a
don't see it
growth
as a
in
mask. Like he sees it, but like you don't see it as
well,
that.
from the outside, I don't see
Yeah.
it as a mess. I think it's like a growth in how you perceive yourself and the world. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's and yeah, it's just you're in the right place in the right time. I don't I think like this may be like a personal thing. I think you're always at the right place at the right time, and I feel like he's always been at the right place at the right time, which is the reason why he is who he is today.
What makes you excited about the new music?
Ooh. Um there's a lot of dimensions to it. So it's should I tell him about the I said over. So there's a lot of all I'm gonna say, like just to keep it vague and interesting, is there's a lot of dimension, more dimensions to it than before. You know what I'm saying? There's more dimensions to how this is gonna come to life. There's more dimensions to how like the outside world is gonna perceive it, like the experience they're gonna get. You know what I mean? There's more dimensions of how they're gonna receive this, and I'm excited for people to receive this. Right? I'm excited because it's been a it's been growth and it's been beautiful and it's been a whole journey of authenticity. It's never been more authentic now than before. It's always been authentic in my opinion, and it's always been beautiful, and it's why it is the way it is today. And there's a lot for people to like experience.
Yeah, it's just crazy how things work. It's like I don't know what my favorite episode is. I don't know what the best episode is. But a beautiful thing about when I record, like every time I record, I feel like when I finish recording, that was the best episode I've ever done. And I guess that's kind of the feeling that kind of keeps me going. Um, so, for our audience, you know, there's a big topic of mental health that we like to address. I'll get Rocco for this one too if he has any tips he could give after 6 a.m. But like, do you have any tips that you could leave the audience for when it comes to mental health and like anything that you practice?
Yeah.
So yo, come in the middle, Rocco. Just come in.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's go, my fucking dog. My fucking bro.
Oh shit!
My fucking bro. My bro.
Love you guys, man.
So I'm not an expert with mental health. I don't have a degree in anything, but I'm somebody that has experienced implications of poor mental health and not taking care of myself, and understanding that your body is a vessel and that you are not a robot and that you have a soul and that you were put on this planet as an intricate being is one of the first things that I realized was one of the first thing I realized that I was missing in how I looked at myself. I treated myself like a robot. I worked myself gruesome hours, wouldn't eat, wouldn't take care of myself. Learn to love yourself in that vessel that you're in as a being. Accept things that you can't control for what they are, and don't try to change the things that you can't control. And lastly, be your authentic self. And if your light shines and people run away from that, they were never meant to be there anyways. Do not be scared to lose somebody or something in your life because you are doing something that is true to you. Don't hurt nobody in the process, but take care of yourself and love yourself and talk to yourself like your best friend.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
I love that. Go ahead.
As you guys were talking, like this sentence kept like running in my head. I even said it once here. I just think, you're just in the right place at the right time. That's my biggest thing. Cause my biggest amount of anxieties and my biggest amounts of like stresses that I feel is like I feel like I'm in the wrong place, or like I feel like I'm doing something wrong, or like a lot of self judgment goes away when you just realize you're in the right place at the right time, and it's okay to take things one step at a time. You know what I mean? A lot of times we envision a huge thing for ourselves, and we get stressed out about like that grandiose vision that what I don't know if we are achieving it, or we feel like underachievers or whatever, but it's not that you won't achieve it. It's just like you're at the right place in the right time to be that person, and you are gonna take things one day at a time, one step at a time, and you're gonna deal with today the same way you're gonna deal with tomorrow, and you're gonna deal with the day after. You know what I mean? And every day that you survive, it's gonna be another day that you survive. So it's a lot of weight off of you when you like relieve yourself of the expectations of the future, and like of I guess other people, of your circumstances, of yourself, right? So you relieve yourself of a lot of that when you just realize that you're here for a reason, you're at the right place, and you're here today for a reason. So take today and then deal with tomorrow.
And God makes no mistakes.
Yes.
I fuck with that. You know, like a lot of things too. I feel like a lot of like I feel like there's like post pandemic. There's been like this huge like loneliness feeling. You know, there's still people who work from home, and I think they're suffering the most. But you know, just try your best to like reach out. Like if you're in trouble, if you're not feeling good, like do not leave it inside. Again, not everyone has access or funding for a therapist or something of that nature, but you have to reach out. Like there has to be at least one person who loves you. You know what I mean? And even if you don't, like talk to a stranger, like talk to somebody, because there's that energy. Like you ever feel that release when you actually like verbalize a problem that you're going through? You're like, fuck, I said it. It actually took a weight off my shoulder. It doesn't solve the problem, but like there is some sort of like clarity that comes out of like verbally expressing something. So yeah, I just think encourage people like I kind of take a risk, and I'm way too open and vulnerable on this podcast for my liking. Not in general. We talked about it. I could be more, but just I take that risk, and I hope that like people are inspired by my risk, so that like, oh, Matt's vulnerable, Matt's okay with saying this, like, okay, like how can I be comfortable with my truth? Because Matt took some balls, and Matt carried the cross for someone else and for all of us, and said it publicly for everyone to see and judge and scrutinize and whatever. Like how can I look at myself and deal with my inner demons? And that's all it is, man. It's just it's about the difference you make.
Can I say one more thing? Just as a response to that, you're no burden, man. You're no burden.
That's
bro.
a good point.
Yup.
You're no burden. Like I personally feel fulfilled if I can like address anyone's problems in any kind of way. It's actually like the opposite of a burden. So, yeah, you're no burden.
Very
That's my
special,
top one.
very special cameo and feature right here.
Hey, man, you
Unexpected
guys
and
spontaneous. I love it.
makes it special.
You know what, the authentic thing, you get a bigger vision of yourself over time, right? So like it's like I feel like maybe before I had a narrower vision of myself, and now I have like I can see things in like a wider lens, and verbally that's what you get from the song, and musically you get that as well from this one.
And it's fire.
Hey,
And it's a
thank you,
fire
dog.
track, bro.
Appreciate
And
it.
it's a
Warrior's Pain. It's
The
called
Warrior's
Warrior's Pain. Yes, sir.
How about yourself?
Hey, stay tuned for the music that's coming. Be authentic, be yourself, and don't be scared to lose people being who you are. To live a life that is fulfilled is a great service, and to live an unfulfilled life to the end is a disservice to you and the person that you're becoming.